February 14th, primary schools will be opening.
What do you think of the vibes from the locals at the moment?
You know, or in a restaurant eating, you don't have to wear a mask.
Are you having to scan barcodes to go anywhere?
I went like this with my hair, and they were like, "Oh, lady boy, don't sit here with me."
Hey, what's up, guys? It's the Marcellus Wallace of Expat Relocation.
You okay? Nah, man. I'm pretty fucking far from okay.
I am here with the legendary Uncle Hollywood, and I've got a lot of great information for you guys today. Man, there's a lot going on in the world of visas and expat living in Southeast Asia. Fantastic news out of Vietnam. They're now allowing people who have exemptions and who have TRCs that are in good standing to re-enter Vietnam. And we have some really good news on the domestic front. Uncle Hollywood has just told us the other day that his company's contacted him and told him it's official. The public schools are opening and he gets to go back to work. Tell us a little bit about that.
Hey, what's going on, guys? My company contacted me a few days ago saying February 14th, primary schools will be opening. Kindergarten will start on the 10th. And primary on the 14th. Some people might know high school already started last month, kind of part-time, switching days to go online and then back to school. But since Ho Chi Minh is now a low-risk area, I think Ho Chi Minh today had 245 cases. And then there's like 10 or 11 other provinces that are way in front of us now. So as far as the low risk goes, they're opening back up. I'm actually getting calls from other places too, because I think there's not a lot of teachers here right now. And I can see on the groups and stuff that they're going crazy looking for people. So it's good news. I don't know how many hours there's going to be available because as you know, the schools have to get money from the parents to pay the teachers to learn English.
Right.
The schools open up on the 14th. Maybe it might be a week later when the English teachers start, when they figure everything out. I'm not sure how it's going to work yet, but I do know Ho Chi Minh is a low risk. So been a long wait, been a while. I can't believe I held out this long since May 18th of last year, but my school was kind enough to advance me a little bit, so help me stay alive. Because I think they knew if the more people left, the harder it was going to be to get some teachers. So Uncle Hollywood's still in Vietnam and ready to go to work. Teach the English.
So that's an important point to make, guys. So there's a lot of people who say that there's no point in spending all the money to come to Vietnam to get the business visas. But to be honest, if you're in the country now, you can have your pick. If English teaching is what you're personally trying to do, you're going to have a lot of different opportunities that would be available to you now that would not be available to you under normal circumstances, because they would just be too flooded with applicants. And at the moment, there's nobody in the country.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even see any foreigners. I went out the other night and I seen 3 foreigners. And obviously the one person I did see was from New Jersey. You can't escape New Jersey, man.
Yeah.
But don't know how many hours it's going to be in the beginning. It's open. That's all that matters. I have a friend that's a pilot. Flights are coming in and out. They're still not sure on quarantining. Sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's 7. I don't know about that yet. They change it every day, but like I said, Ho Chi Minh is low risk, so.
You're starting to be allowed to quarantine in your private property now. So this is something that's really good. It seems like there's like some serious whispers of things becoming more open and more loose. But unfortunately, like what that looks like, I think is not possible to quantify right now. So like there's a lot of things in the wind that now that they've done this kind of allowing people in again with exemptions, that this might be the foreshadowing for like easing of policy. But I think at this point, it's still a little too early to tell when it comes to the Vietnamese government. The decisions can be made very quickly and at times without any, notice or no prediction. We can't.
One day it's this, one day it's that. I do know Hanoi is not having school right now. They're number 1 in pandemic right now. They're averaging about 2,900 a day. So I know they closed their schools in Hanoi. If you're going to be teaching, it's going to be in Ho Chi Minh area. As of now, Hanoi will not, they're not even doing tech, fireworks, or anything of that nature. The pandemic there is a lot bigger. I also know yesterday they got 3 cases of Omnicron here. A lady came from America, had dinner at a restaurant, and they're back stepping into now. But it's the first case in community. They've had I think 60 cases altogether that they caught, but this is the first one in the community. But Omnicron's like the flu, so I wouldn't be worried. I mean, look at Britain and the UK. They just announced no more mask mandates, no more mandates. I just think at this point, everybody's just got to get back and do the thing. It's going to happen. Unless you're in the US, then they're mandating everything. And Sleepy Joe, Shelfless Joe, don't know what he's doing.
It's the same in Western Europe, though. It's the same in all of the EU. Like
I know Austria had a big shindig yesterday with protesting because Austria is almost the same as Australia now. I think Austria, once they cut it down, I think that Europe's going to start cutting it also a lot more and more and more. It's just you can't control it. You got to live it.
Yeah, I just had it. It was really mild. It was like one day I had a very low grade fever, and then the rest of it was like a little bit of a cold. It wasn't really anything to be too worried about. At least for me, I was in very good health. I mean, for somebody who's got a lot of pre-existing conditions and smokes, I guess anything can kill you. So, it's like, I don't know. I feel like this might be the light at the end of the tunnel. Like we might start to see countries starting to kind of move forward. How does it feel in Vietnam? Does it still feel very controlled, or are people very scared?
Not at all, man. The 10th, everything opened up. Karaoke, massage parlors. I mean, there's no limitation now. I know Vietnam has got 90 million people, and I think 74 million have two doses. And 78 or 68 million have one, and 25 million have 2 doses plus the third. So, I mean, as far as now, Hanoi's a little different because they have an outbreak right now. But
right.
Ho Chi Minh was number 1 for a long time. I think we're number 10 now. We're 8 on the list, and it's a low risk. So everything's open. Everybody's doing their thing. I was tutoring somebody that got COVID, but the kid was 18 and he got 2 shots plus his the booster, and he still got it. Remember, you still get it, you can still give it. It just cuts down hospitalization and death.
Yeah, I had two Pfizers, and we just got it from somebody at the gym. And to be honest, man, like it was not really anything to write home about, at least for us. I mean, I'm not a virologist, so I'm not going to pretend that.
Well, I know. I just looked up last night. Pfizer reported that if you have 1 dose, it doesn't do anything for Omicron. If you have 2, it reduces it. But in mid-March, they're going to have something that helps for Omicron, Cron, whatever they're calling it, Megatron, whatever they're calling it these days.
Yeah, enough of this bullshit. Enough bullshit. It's time to start letting people travel. I think the countries that cling to this are going to really show themselves for what they are. And the countries that are smart enough to open up, it's going to be a great opportunity. Like here in Albania, they've seen more tourism and more interest and investment in this country than they have in a long time because they're one of the few countries that are open. And I think, I just got my approval for my business visa. So we'll be in Cambodia in the next like 3 weeks or so. And another advantage for Cambodia is, relatively speaking, for the region, they're open. So we are hoping to hear some good news moving forward about Vietnam. But as of right now, guys, unless you have a marriage exemption or you have an existing TRC and you're returning, then everything is fundamentally the same. Like you still need sponsorship. You're going to still need invitation letters and people's committee approvals. And even if they start to open up, we don't really know what that's going to look like because it changes here so frequently and so crazily. What is your feeling on the ground in Saigon? Like, what are you feeling from the vibes of the people and just the city, and how is day-to-day life there at the moment?
Like I said, the day-to-day life is back to normal. You're hearing horns all the time. I was just in a market. I mean, people wear masks when there's no virus here. So everybody's always wearing a mask. But I was in Thanh Binh at one of the street markets walking around. I mean, you can't even move through those scooters through. There's people everywhere. Everything is open. Grab is on. B is working. You can take buses to go to different parts of Vietnam. They got planes within the country going. You could fly to Japan right now. I just know somebody just went to Phu Quoc and they said it was a little dead, but Russians were there. So, I mean, they're letting people in. Tourism is, I think you got to get a tour right now.
Yes.
Or something for tourism. But I mean, like I said, every restaurant is open, every karaoke, massage hotel is lit nice and bright.
How about masks and requirements? How about like barcodes or anything weird?
They still want you to wear a mask, but like I said,
Okay.
I mean, I was in a nightclub the other night not wearing a mask. So it's only like if you're out and about, just wear the mask. But once you're in a restaurant eating, you don't have to wear a mask. You're eating or drinking, it's fine.
Okay.
Like I said, I went to the acoustic bar last week. People, some people were wearing a mask, but I would say 80% of the bar was, and it was packed. I mean, you could barely move.
Right.
And nobody was really wearing a mask. It's normal, man. I mean, like I said, Ho Chi Minh only had 240 cases out of, I think there's 10 million people right now because a lot of people still didn't come back to go to work because they don't want them to come back from, like the Mekong is also really bad right now. They have a lot of cases. So like if you're coming from Hanoi or Mekong or a province that has a high rate, they don't want you to come back. But as far as Ho Chi Minh goes, I mean, people are busting through the red lights on the bikes. I just seen a major accident with scooters. It looked like they were a pretzel. So it's back to normal, man. I was near the airport. All the Grab guys are there. Like I said, beer is still cheap and food is still cheap. And you get back here working, get the letter through you or whatever, you're going to have work.
Right.
Even if you work, let's say you work 10 hours a month. I mean, you're still going to be able to live here. I mean, I'm doing a video coming up on my channel on Hollywood's journey, do's and don'ts of finding an apartment, what to look for, what things like when you look at a place for the surrounding area, if you hear roosters or construction going on, things of that nature, because there's a lot of construction going on.
Great advice.
So that I figured with things opening back up and people coming, it's a good video to do. I apologize to my subscribers about the ghost hunt. I went to the graveyard and they had security there. I think they either I was a foreigner, they weren't letting me in, they were afraid, or at this point they're still being a little bit careful at the cemeteries or whatever. So once it does open, I got my ghost tube, my SLS. I'm all ready to go, but for some reason, no ghost hunting in Vietnam right now.
Yeah. So they don't want the weird foreigner wandering around the graveyard trying to catch ghosts on an app on his phone.
talking to the air. Are you here right now?
Probably some sort of altered state of consciousness.
The ghost might be giving out some COVID. I'm not sure. So.
Well, how do you feel on
here? It's not like ghosts. Like in America, you're on ghost hunting. It's more about things moving and hearing things. And here in Asia, it's almost more about the devil and seeing the demons. It's not more about ghosts. So they're a little bit more superstitious about that stuff. So that's the other thing I wasn't really sure of until I started asking questions about ghosts. They're like, ghosts? No, devil, demons. They follow you, especially if you're Buddhist. They suggested I don't do that because they will follow me home. So I have to say, I need a phone. That's a prayer to the Buddhists.
And your landlord might throw you out on the streets because you haunted their house.
You're right. So I got to be a little careful. So I'll be doing the do's and don'ts of finding an apartment. I think it'll be a little safer.
All right, guys. So you should definitely check out Hollywood's channel. He's still kind of in the beginnings of putting it all together, but it seems like he's going to do some interesting stuff. And I mean, I don't think there's anybody else who's ghost hunting in the middle of Saigon at the moment. So it'll be very interesting. What do you think of the vibes from the locals at the moment? Are people still kind of weird with foreigners, or is that getting better? Or
not at all. When I walk through the market, they're all hello. They want to talk to me and speak to me. If I go with a friend, I mean, they're like, "Oh, what is he doing in this area?" And then she'll help me with, they want to talk to me. I was out the other night at Centrum Park. They have a Ferris wheel and water rides, and I was having some beers outside. They had a show going on, and a bunch of them wanted me to sit down with them. And there was some lady boys there, with my, I went like this with my hair, and they were like, "Oh, lady boy, sit here with me." So the lady boys liked the long hair, but I was like, "Oh no, I'm with friends." But next time, but they want to talk, man. They want to talk. They have no problem with the foreigners right now anymore. About a few months ago,
Yeah, I was going to say a few months ago they did, and it was kind of weird. And it's kind of good that it's not like that now and that things are kind of back to normal. That's nice to hear that. How about with barcodes or anything? Are you having to scan barcodes to go anywhere?
They want you to. I'm not. I'm not going to be a part of the
Mm.
tracking system. So they're all on every door, and I have my barcode I can scan, but I'm not doing it. I just walk in. They don't care. If you want to
Okay.
scan it, you can scan it. Do a Latte Mart, that's like a big shopping center for food and everything. They are taking your temperature and they're making you do your hair, your gel thing, and you do have to wear a mask when you go food shopping. But they didn't ask for. I just had to show my green pass that that I had my shots. My
So
vaccine.
you do have to carry a vaccine passport with you when you
Oh
go
yeah,
around.
no, yeah. A lot of places do still want to see that you've been vaccinated, but you don't have to scan it.
Oh,
But
you
they're
just
on the
show
door
them.
if you, yeah, they're on the door if you want to do it for yourself, you know. But they don't care about that. Just show them that you've been
Okay.
vaccinated. That's all that matters.
But people there
Um,
are carrying around like a card just in case it's asked for and things
It's
like
not on the card. It's on. They got apps for your phone. So
that. Okay.
let me see if I have it right here. So it's a PC COVID app. It tells you that you've been vaccinated. And you just show them, and that's it. No paper. They have apps for your phone. So you just download it, and you can actually input it yourself now. When you leave and whether you get your booster or whatever, they'll do it for you through the country. Or you can, if it takes too long, the one app allows you to, as long as you have the batch number and everything, you can punch it in yourself.
Are they
So
requiring boosters?
they're not requiring it, but they are giving. They started giving it out. One of my friends' father, and she just got her booster. So yeah, if they're giving it, they had Pfizer. If you get it, like I said, I mean, you still can give it, you can still get it, but it reduces hospitalization and sickness by like 33%, 40%. So just get it. I mean, if you're going to travel, you need it. If you're going to come here, you
Right.
need it. At this point, you have the vaccine, you're a good person. You don't have the vaccine, you're a
Yeah.
horrible, racist person, who don't care
My
about
favorite
human life.
my favorite is the ones who are like fat fucks who smoke, who live unhealthy lives, but now they consider themselves health nuts because they've gotten the vaccine. Like Joe Rogan did a
Yeah.
great piece about that the other day where he's like, fuck you. Like I live fitness, you know what I mean? And you're going to talk about who's healthy and who's not healthy. I'm with you, man. I mean, my question is more about not whether or not they should get it or not. That's not really so much of an issue. It's more about like, what is Vietnam requiring on the ground, right?
They're
Like what's
requiring you to have the vaccine.
no further boosters mandate.
No, if you want to come in the country, you got to have 2 shots, though. I think if you have 2 shots and you're boosted, I don't even think you need to do a quarantine, as long as you have your negative test when you land.
No, they're doing it's
I
a
think I
quarantine, but
read
it's
that somewhere.
well, they may be starting to implement that, but as far as I know, it's still a quarantine at the house at the time of the making of this video. But now you're allowed to use actual like taxis instead of having the guy in the alien suit get you. So, I mean, that's a good sign for Vietnam that things are getting
Yeah,
better.
it's getting back to as normal as Vietnam can be normal.
Right.
I mean, like I said, one day it's this, one day it's that. If you're gonna do it now. Well, they're allowing things, because tomorrow it could be a little different story. It'll be more expensive. Who knows? I know my TRC ends in April, but my work permit ends in July. So I already spoke to your agent, who I've been using since I've been here for almost 3 years. And
Awesome.
she said, or the agent said, don't worry about it. We can get a 3-month TRC extension. And my job already said they will get my work permit without a college degree.
Yeah, guys, and that's something I've said in previous videos on our other channel. I've definitely said that if you're still in Vietnam, not having a degree is not going to be so much of an issue. It's just an issue if you're trying to come to Vietnam at the moment. And I think Hollywood makes a good
Right.
point. Like, we're seeing some very good signs that things are going to get better for Vietnam, but we also need to remember that like these countries make very dramatic moves at times that are very unpredictable. And, it could become easier and easier to enter Vietnam, or on a random day, it could become much harder. So we don't know. So if you have a plan to come, I suggest you just pick a day and you just make that happen. And you don't spend too much time thinking about what could happen in a month, what could happen in 6 months, because, how long have you been waiting to hear Vietnam is going to open? I mean, I've been hearing this now for almost 2 years.
May 18th of last year was my last day of school. I worked. So I've been waiting since May 18th of last year to be.
Yeah.
And
So
actually,
guys,
I worked a week later than most people because I did some voiceovers for the testing and everything. So it was actually May 11th was the last day of school for most people. So I've been waiting a while. What are we in now? January. So by the time March 8th, it's almost 9 months.
oh, go on.
Where else
Guys,
in the world can you live for 9 months? Because I was tutoring and I was only making about $300 a month. But yet I still lived here for 9 months on $300 a month and still going out.
So guys, if you have intentions of coming to Vietnam, it's maybe not the best idea to wait because it's unpredictable what's going to happen. I think you should just fix a date. And if you're serious about coming, whatever the circumstances are at the time, just come, because like he's been waiting now for a long time. And I've had people who keep waiting and waiting and waiting. And, you know, you talk to them and like 6 months have gone by and it's like, man, you could have been in Vietnam already.
And it's going to take a month for you to get your paperwork and get here. And remember, school's ending in June. So what is it, February? So you got May, March, April, May, June. So you got 4 months of school and then you're going to have summer break and then school. So you do it now. Or go to Cambodia with your service. And then when everything gets back to normal, you just pop on a bus and 4 hours later, you're in Vietnam and getting ready to go.
And there's no reason to think that at some point in the future, that could be a possibility. It's just the problem, guys, is to try to quantify that. So like Cambodia is a good option if you don't have the degree to get into Vietnam, because you can hang out in Cambodia for a little bit and you can kind of just watch the situation from a very close by, you know, there's advantages to that. Like, so as far as, you know, you surviving, you said now you've not worked since last May. Is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay. So how did you budget to survive over that time? Like, how were you able to make your life affordable? This is a great example for people who are coming to Vietnam on lower budgets or coming to Southeast Asia in general on lower budgets, that there are ways that you can live cheaply if you need to.
Well, if you're going to live in District 1, 2, or 3, your rent's going to be probably $400 or more. I would suggest if you're going to come here to live in the small districts, like I live in Tan Phu, you can go to Tan Binh, maybe District 12, and you can find an apartment for $250 a month with electric. So right off the bat, if you're only spending $250, $260 a month for your rent, food is pretty cheap. If you're not going to go out drinking, you can live on $450 a month, $400, easy. But if you're going to be going out, it's going to cost you a little bit more. I'm a little bit older. I'm not young, so I know how to budget my money a little better. I know I've been here a little bit, so I know where to go for the deals. You know, I have some help with some locals. You know, if I go out to eat, I can get a dumpling soup for $25,000, which is like $1.10, $1.20. And they give you 12 dumplings and a bowl of soup. So you can live on 3 of those a day and only eat for $4 a day. I mean, they have warehouses where you can buy drinks. For instance, iced tea. I drink some iced tea. I get a case of 24 and it's like $4. So, I mean, you can get some iced tea, go to the places where they sell it wholesale. If you're going to go to the Big C or the places like that and buy food, you're going to spend $50, $60 for the month on food. But if you go to the market, the other day I bought 50 eggs for like $2. You get bread here is going to run you 50 cents. So, I mean, if you're on a budget until you get going, that's how you're going to live. You're going to live on the cheap soups, eggs and bread. There's a place around the corner that sells dumplings for $1.50. You get a few of them if you're a little, you know, for a snack if you want. Grab is pretty cheap, and they have cheaper way. They got B, and they got Go Viet, and they got a few other services that you can go through. It'll cost you $1.50 to go to certain places. Everything's walkable in the smaller districts, so I would suggest definitely living in a smaller district before living in the bigger district, which I'll be talking about on my video about, you know, if you know where your job is, then you want to be super close to your job no matter where it is, because then you'll save some money on your Grab and everything.
And I don't know if I would use the word smaller, because you know, like Govap district, these are some of the biggest districts in the city. I would say central. The central districts are where you're going to pay. The river, near the side of the river.
Yeah, and Govap's more of a foreigner located area where, I don't see too many people walking. When I walk around here, I mean, I might see one or two foreigners.
Yeah, but you're outside of the center, like District 1, District 2, District 3. District 2 is not the center, but it's the expat enclave. And then District 1 and 3 are the center. So these are always going to be the more expensive places for food, housing, any kind of cost.
Correct.
And that's the same in any Southeast Asian city, guys. So he's managed to support himself for, it's been over a year just by, budgeting and living, and he's made it through. And now that you're at the end of this, are you optimistic for Vietnam's future looking forward as someone who's in Vietnam?
As far as optimistic for Vietnam, I think it's going to be fine. Once again, the only thing I'm not sure about, I've been reading that the parents, they need the kids to go back to school because they can't stay home and work and watch the kids. But if they'll have enough money to pay for the English classes. So I'm not sure how many hours this school year you will get. But if you get 10 hours, you can live here. I mean, if you're making 400,000 for 10 hours, you're going to make over 10 million. I mean, that's plenty. I've been making about 10 million a month and I've been living. I believe next school year, when you're making the 30 to 50 million, it'll be sweet. I mean, everything's going to be open. Everything, you'll be able to travel, you'll be able to save some dough, you'll be able to do whatever the hell you want to do. So I'm more optimistic for the new school year. This school year, I believe it's going to be trial basis. I know since they've reopened, between students and teachers, there's been 130 cases of COVID in Ho Chi Minh since they've reopened. And it's going down though. And they just vaccinated all the kids. Even though you still get in, give it. They vaccinated the kids, but they've handled it. I know on the 10th, they're opening up the kindergarten, but from the 10th to the 14th, they're going to be preparing for primary school, cleaning everything, getting everything set up. They have separate rooms in case you don't feel well. They put you in a separate room. Somebody comes in, they give you a test. I believe they're going to have the teachers come in and have like a seminar on what you're going to be responsible for. Don't touch the kids, wear the mask, wash your hands, brush your teeth, comb your hair, things like that.
Yeah. Show up sober. Yeah.
I do show up pretty good, so I don't go to the school. It's too hot, man. If I'm drinking, I'm sweating.
That puts you ahead of quite a lot of the ESL industry in Southeast Asia. So we don't just focus on English teachers, but also investors or people who just want to come to Vietnam for any reason. You don't see any reason why that they should not come to Vietnam now if they have the means and the ability to get the documents.
If you're going to have your own business, now would be the time, because there are a lot of places that have closed. So a lot of people are going to be renting their places a little cheaper to get you in. So
commercial properties.
Correct. They're building. They just built a brand new commercial building here. So I mean, they're ready to go. But I think if you're going to do it now, because like I said, the rent will be a little cheaper.
Yeah, I think that's true. Also for people who are employed online or just whatever your purposes for being in Vietnam are, it's a great time to get a bargain. The only thing I will say, guys, is that if you are an online worker, at the moment, the only really sensible way to stay in Vietnam is to open your own company, because, the business visa thing, as we've seen over the last 6 months, has been a bit horrific. They're now throwing out all the tourists. So all those people who are getting those free extensions for the whole pandemic, all their visas are being canceled. So if you are one of those people and you need an emergency TRC, you can message me, but there are some caveats. It matters your nationality, what documents you have, whether you're willing to work or not, and where you entered Vietnam. But a lot of that can still be overcome. So definitely have a chat with us. If you're on a tourist visa and you're being thrown out and you're looking for a solution, we can help. But what do you think of that, man? It's hard to read what's happening with Vietnam. They're throwing out all these tourists. They're doing very extortionist policies on even minor visa infractions. But
it doesn't make sense, because they got to build up the revenue again. So you would think they'd want these people to stay in and spend their money.
It's confusing.
It is. I mean, to make more money in your country, you want more money spent in your country. So let them stay and spend their money. But I don't understand why they're kicking some people out on the tourist visas and stuff. Let them stay. They have the money. Let them stay. If you're going to start a business and you're coming from America or another country, I would look about maybe finding some people in your area that have like craft stores or stores that sell hats or clothing, and maybe set up a deal with them saying, well, hey, I'm moving to Vietnam. I'll find some connections and we can get some cheap clothing and stuff. Somebody just contacted me I haven't heard from in a while. I'm hoping it works out well because China is no longer dealing with America. So she was getting a lot of her hats and scarves and everything from China and selling them in her store in Florida. So she contacted me to find if anybody in Vietnam could do it, and she'll pay and ship it and everything. So that could be a thing to look forward to if you come in here with no job, you
You can
find
maybe do
somebody in the area.
some import-export flip is kind of what you're suggesting. I mean, even in Cambodia, the textiles are very well known. So, I mean, it's hard for me to understand kind of where the Vietnam government's policy is at the moment, because they're talking about things like easing up and allowing in people with exemptions, while at the same time they're purging tourists. Now, I understand that these tourists have been in the country and they've been on the good graces, and that's fine, but why not just extend the visas and make them pay at this point if they want to stay?
Vietnam doesn't have a sensible thought most of the time. Like we've been saying, one day it's this, one day it's that, one day school's open, one day school's closed. They fly by the seat, or what is it, fly by the pants or whatever they call it.
No, yeah, you had it right. Fly by the seat of your pants.
Right. I just don't believe they have an idea. They don't have a step-by-step plan. And a good business has a good step 1, step 2, step 3 plan. Every country, I hate to say it, but look at Hungary. Hungary has a great lifestyle, and their politicians aren't worried about wokeness or anything. They're worried about their country, and they have a good 1, 2, 3, 4 step plan, and they follow through. And it's one of the best countries, I believe, that's on the right path. And if you have a good plan, just like if you own a business, if you have a good business plan, your business should work. And here they have too many Indians, or what is that called? I'm messing up all my...
Too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Correct. Because each district has their own person, and this guy's saying this and this guy's saying that, and then it goes back to Hanoi, which I think has the final word, and they don't care about over here. And I think it just throws a wrench in all the plans. And I think that's the main thing.
Well, I mean, that's interesting. I would say bureaucracy is part of it, but I would also think that it also has to do with culture, because, all the countries in Southeast Asia can be very erratic. China can be very erratic. The decision-making can happen quickly.
Well, I'm here in China right now. It's on lockdown. They got their people locked in their places.
Are they? Is it nationwide or just in some places?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing, nationwide, because of the Omnicron. 2 days ago had the biggest infection rate since the virus started.
Okay.
So they're locking you down there.
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, no, I'm interested to hear what you're hearing on the ground. Guys, I don't come out, and anyone who I interview, I don't necessarily endorse anything they say, but we like to get the perspectives of people who are living in these places so that we can bring it to you, because each person has a different way of viewing what's happening around them. And we think if you're going to be making a decision to moving to a country, or to, deciding you're going to be a teacher or open a business, it's important to hear what other expats have to say. So the goal of this channel is to bring you guys this type of information, different people's opinions who are living in these places, and can give you some insight into what's happening there on the ground. So can you just give us like an overall summary of the positive changes you've seen over the last month or so, and some timeline dates for things opening again?
Okay. Positive changes that on the 10th of this month, everything completely open. There's nothing that's not closed right now. I believe Ho Chi Minh, Hanoi, like I said, on lockdown, and some other provinces are on lockdown. But as far as Ho Chi Minh, everything's completely open. People are being back to normal with being kind and wanting to talk to you. Schools are going to be opening back up on the 14th, the primary at least, and the 10th with kindergarten. I do know that a lot of the kindergarten schools have closed because Ho Chi Minh didn't sponsor them while they were and they couldn't pay the rent anymore. So the schools are going to be, I think, a little bit more full. You're going to have more students in the class as far as kindergarten goes. The only negative I can think of right now is the inconsistency of Vietnam saying it's open, it's closed, and the prices for the visa. Other than that, everything's back to normal, man. Except for Tet, they're not having fireworks. I was out for New Year's down by District 3, where the fountains are and everything, the main road, the tourist road. You couldn't move.
Wing Hue.
Wing Hue, yeah. I've been here so long, I still kill everything. You couldn't even move. I mean, it was packed, literally. So nobody, and then they don't care, man. They're out now. It's open. Come on in. If you get in, you'll be okay. Like I said, you got to start your paperwork now. You'll get in. Maybe you get the last month of school in, and then you can make enough to where you can, because you can travel within Vietnam now. You can go anywhere. I wouldn't go to Hanoi, but Nha Trang, Phu Quoc, Dalat, they're all getting packed right now. So you can still move around. They got buses at full capacity. They were doing it at 50%. Now it's full capacity. There's a lot more traffic right now, a lot more. So everything's back to normal. More people on the street serving street food. I have no problem with Vietnam right now. Like I said, the only thing I don't know is how many hours we'll have working next month and the month after until it starts. I think that's the only unknown.
So guys, you'll notice if you're in these online forums that there's a lot of people that are serious gatekeepers. Like, you see it a lot on the Cambodia forum as well, where people are just going on and on about how there's no opportunity and all the teachers are only the teachers that are left in the country. They're barely finding jobs. And this is not really true, guys. A lot of the expats didn't survive the pandemic and they just never made it. You do have opportunities. It's just each country is a little bit different. Vietnam does hiring in a different way than Cambodia does hiring, and we can advise you on the best ways for you to find jobs. In Vietnam, we have a lot of reliable recruiters. So if we physically get you into Vietnam, you're not going to have any trouble finding a job. Don't listen to anything you're hearing online.
I was going to say, I'm getting messages on my phone crazy from companies here we want to hire you. So
yeah,
hiring.
Yeah, you're going to get a job. And honestly, I'm very in touch with people in Cambodia also, and there is jobs. Don't listen to what people are saying. I mean, if you're irresponsible and you fly to a developing country in Southeast Asia, you spend tons of money and you don't budget enough for your survival, well, then, yeah, you could have some problems. But to sit here and say that these countries don't have opportunity right now is just gatekeeping, and it's not honest.
I just spoke to a girl in Tunisia. She got hit up by a recruiter online in Tunisia with a Tunisian passport to work in Mekong, making $1,000 a month and housing. That's not even a G7 passport.
No, but it's a risky proposition because she's coming with a weak passport to a small province for a company that she doesn't know. And those are the situations where a lot of times people's passports get taken and then they end up being forced to work and not being paid. You can't be so eager to come to a country that you're willing to agree to anything. And if these small provincial places are willing to sponsor these kind of second tier passports, obviously they would prefer not to do that. There's a reason why they can't attract foreigners from G7 countries or from native speaking countries. So just be very wary of opportunities like that.
I kind of mentioned that to her without giving her a lot of information. Be careful. Your passport is a weak one, and they wanted her to send money. And I said, "Oh."
I mean, that's what I mean. It's hard, that's why what our service has a value, guys, is we connect you to reliable contacts, people who are going to actually look out for your best interest. I mean, obviously we charge our fee, but if there's a problem, there's some sort of recourse. There's people who we have in Vietnam or in Cambodia that can help you. So, it's the same. We're starting to open businesses now in Thailand, guys. We're expanding. We have some immigration opportunities in Mexico. We can help open businesses here in Albania and the Balkans. So really, anything you need for any of your expat services, for moving your family or yourself to a new country, we've got your back. I just wanted to bring you guys some up-to-date information because they're canceling the tourist visas in Vietnam. Now they're allowing in the marriage exemptions and the valid TRCs. There is going to still be an approval process, but it's going to be more streamlined than before. And guys, I got approved for my business visa, so I will be in Phnom Penh soon. We'll be documenting how we get there, showing you guys the entire process of how we applied for the visa. We can provide invitation letters. We have contacts in Cambodia that can do that for you. This is an exciting year for us. We've already started off the year with a sale, and we're helping people starting to get into Cambodia, and it's already the beginning of the year. It's very exciting. Would you want to leave them with some final thoughts, Uncle Hollywood?
Just get here, get your paperwork started now. That's what I would suggest right now. Get it started. You can be teaching in the last month at least, or maybe a little sooner, who knows? But you'll be set up for the summer here when they're going to be hiring like crazy. You'll have your choice where to work.
Guys, there's something I do need to make very clear. If you don't have a strong passport, number one, you have a degree, number two, and you need to have an experience letter from any employer. It can be from it doesn't have to be an English teaching. It can be from anybody. but it has to say you have 3 to 5 years of working experience. Without those things, you can't take step 1 towards coming to Vietnam. So like he said before, if you find a sponsor willing to sponsor you, you don't have to have a strong passport. But if you want to deal with me, or where we can just pay some money and then you're good to go, you get your sponsorship, everything gets organized for you, we can only do this with strong passports. So you know, please make sure before you message us that, you know, you're sure that you have the ability to get either a degree, experience letter, and that your passport isn't one that's like, you know, considered very
A
low
weak one, yeah.
value.
Because
Yeah.
you won't make a lot of money either. Like I said, they were wanting to pay that girl like $1,000. If you have a good G7, there's no reason why you can't make minimum 15, maximum, you know, 2,500 a month.
Yeah,
if
and
you're at an international school.
And you know, your visa is attached to this company. So, you know, if you come in on a sponsorship from a company and that company is not a good company, they can pretty much have you thrown out of the country relatively quickly. So, and blacklisted. So you might spend all this money to come to Vietnam, get there, find out that this company is not acting in good faith, and then suddenly now you're on overstay and blacklist, and you know, they might be spiteful and try to create problems for you with immigration. And to be honest, at the moment, the people I see that are having to get off blacklists, the fines, bro, I have not seen anything like this ever in Vietnam. They're banging people over the head like easily for $5,000 just to get off a blacklist. And it's just
with you, at least
crazy.
your people are trustworthy, where if you're just going online and finding somebody, you have no clue, and you'll end up spending more money in the long run. If you're going to go through somebody like you, you're going to get somebody that pays well when you're teaching, and the money you spend will be made back quickly.
Yeah, and they're going to act responsibly. They're not going to, you know, they're looking to do a business with you in good faith. And I'm the way that I'm able to connect them to the foreigner that's looking for the same. Whereas if you're just going into random Facebook groups, you really need to do diligence on whoever might be signing your paperwork, because they own your visa. So it's very important you understand that, you know. What do you see for the future? Do you think that the door is going to open soon? Do you think there's going to be some sort of a return to normality for entry visas? What are you hearing on the ground?
No, definitely. I think sometime in July, that will all go back to normal. I think once the new school year ends, I hear through the grapevine and things I've read, and the locals that have kids in school and that have businesses, and I know a few pilots. It seems like in July, things will kind of be back going smoothly as it can for Vietnam.
Whatever that looks like. But at least he's hearing what I'm hearing. We're hearing that there is a move towards things getting better.
Yeah. I mean, the whole world, I think, is starting to get better. Like I said, look at the UK with no more mask mandates and no more mandates for restaurants. And if you look at it, Europe and the UK, they're ahead of us like 2-3 months. Like South Africa was ahead of us with the Omnicron, and they're kind of back to normal now, kind of work all through their system. So as far as America goes with the virus, I mean, with the mandates and everything, that's up to Sleepy Joe, or the governors, like Florida, for instance. Florida, since it said, I don't care, no mask, go back to school. And they're the #1 state in America right now as far as people moving to an economy. And I think that's how it's going to start going in everywhere else. So I think July, the whole world's going to be back to normal.
Well, that's interesting. And we like to get your opinion. And, you know, if you guys enjoy hearing from expats and from people who are living all over the world, we don't censor anybody. We let them say whatever they want. We don't endorse or censor anybody. So if you're interested in talking to us and telling us about your life as an expat, you can message me on the Facebook fan page, and I can set up a time. We can have an interview and we can make a video out of it.
Yeah, I mean, and don't forget, me and you are both on Rumble now.
Yep, we're on Rumble, guys.
As far as videos go, so you can hit me up on Rumble or YouTube myself on Hollywood's Journey. I'm also on Reddit. It's like Twitter. That's because, you know, Twitter, you're censored and everything. Reddit, you're free to do whatever you want and say whatever you want. You can find me on there. Jeff_Molinero's on Reddit. But as far as Rumble and YouTube, it's Hollywood's Journey. What I do is kind of just show you, I got videos of me teaching. So if you want an idea of what it's like teaching in a class, you can go and check out some. I also have some videos on Europe. I've traveled 40 countries. I just released one on Montenegro train ride from Serbia to Montenegro. And I give some tips. So look me up. And if you want to subscribe, it would help me out. Getting better and better each day. You know, I don't have too much, but I have good information.
Yeah, and listen, it all starts, man. It started with me just playing around on my cell phone, and for years I used a shitty phone camera, and you know, the evolution happened as the business grew and as we started expanding from teaching into consulting, and it'll happen for you. So you guys come check him out while he's on the ground level as his channel grows and gets better, and you know, you get to watch that evolution. So it's great. And if you guys have any questions about either opening businesses in Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, Albania, hit us up. If you're interested in Mexican passports, we can arrange an expedited passport. So you can PM us about that as well for Mexican citizenship. We're expanding. We're going to be offering services for Costa Rica soon. We're going to be offering other popular expat relocation destinations, helping people open businesses so you can get residency, so you can live in these countries and not have to deal with the visa shuffle. If you're looking to work in Vietnam, we have a lot of contacts for the ESL teaching. But if you're just looking to be in Vietnam and work online, we can help you open companies. But understand, guys, that Vietnam is not a market for like cheap, you know, living and staying in Vietnam without working, you know, like if you're employed, it's great, it's easy, it's straightforward, we can take care of it. But if you're planning on being self-employed here, the cost of opening a business in Vietnam is substantial. So if you're a player on that level, then that's awesome. But if you're just a kind of a you know, lower budget expat, then I would not look at Vietnam as a place to be unless you're going to be employed by a company in Vietnam. Cambodia is a little bit more flexible with this. And if you guys have any questions, you can contact us. Check out the Facebook fan page, Instagram. We've got everything. You can reach out to us if you have any questions. Subscribe to Hollywood's Journeys. And guys, this is our new channel. If you want to see our old channel, I'll pop it up here. Check out the New York Nomad. We're niching down, and this channel is going to be the consulting and the interview content. And the other channel is going to be kind of more travel blogs. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Subscribe, share. Thank you for watching.
And if you want to be a subscriber to my Instagram, it's Molinaro Jeffrey. Get on there. I got a lot of pictures of many travelings around the world and some things in Vietnam. So anything would help. And like I said, thank you, Mr. Monkey. I appreciate everything you've done for me. Good videos. Yes, love Albania. Watching it through your eyes.
Oh man, I love Albania. I'm so glad this is where I picked to wait out the lockdown. It's so nice here.
Like I always tell you got to hit up Budapest though one day. One day you got to hit up Budapest. It's probably one of my top 3 countries.
That's awesome. I think for the next 6 months to 1 year, I think Cambodia makes a lot of sense for me to be there for a while. So we're going to keep bringing you that stuff, and hopefully everybody's excited to see where we go from here. Hollywood and I are optimistic that things are getting better for Vietnam, for Southeast Asia in general, and hopefully for the world. So holler at us if you're thinking about coming out there. It's great to hear that he's optimistic. Thanks for watching.
Brush your face and wash your teeth, son.
Yo, my man got me a job. Come to Vietnam.
The white monkey got me a job during the pandemic.
The white monkey got me into Vietnam during COVID.
The white monkey got me into Vietnam during the pandemic. I'm at school now on break. If he did it for me, he can do it for you. It's pretty easy. Check him out.
Ooh, to whom it may concern, White Monkey Syndicate got me the job of all jobs. Thank you.
White monkey got me a job. Brush your teeth.
The White Monkey Syndicate got me a job, aka your father.
The white monkey got me a job.
White Santa, baby, brush your teeth.
Monkey got me a job, hit him up.
Yo, it's the Whoopi Goldberg of the ESL game, educating you youngins in the Englishes.
White monkey got me a motherfucking job.
White Jesus, baby.
White monkey got me a job.
Brush your teeth.
Hey, what's up, guys? You thinking about coming to Vietnam? You're not sure where to start. You've heard a lot of things online. You don't know what's true. You don't know what's not. We here at the White Monkey Syndicate offer a consulting service where we help you get on your feet in Vietnam. We give you advice on negotiating contracts with employers. We help you with real estate agents, visa agents that are reliable and that you can trust. We help you get started in this amazing country and get on your feet. We help you get into different opportunities that might be more difficult for you if you were just landing in the country on your own. And we help you
you'll avoid a lot of the pitfalls and problems that you could have as a newcomer here. We provide you with reliable job recruiters, visa agents, real estate agents, and advice. If you guys are thinking about coming to Vietnam, hit us up for a consultation. We'll help you get started, help you get on your feet, and hopefully you'll love Vietnam as much as we do.
What do you think of when you think of Albania? I think of opportunity. I think of a country that's open. I think of a country that wants long-stay expats, that wants people to come and invest, wants new ideas, and is looking towards the West. I think that Albania is a beautiful country with incredible landscapes that can offer a very comfortable lifestyle at a very reasonable price. We at the White Monkey Syndicate will help navigate your journey to becoming an expat in Albania. We're working with some of the top lawyers in the city. We can help establish businesses. We can help you get your residency. We can help you get real estate. We can arrange almost any contact that you might need for the process of moving here in almost any city in the country. We will simplify the process. We'll make it a lot easier for you to move to a country that maybe in the past would have been more of a challenge. With our help, it's going to be a walk in the park.